could say one that's not super obvious.
Okay.
Well, I don't think it's super obvious, but one of my stocks that I'm watching is actually a company on the junior market. And they used to do one type of business and they've kind of switched a little bit to do another kind of business, because they started out as a used car dealership and now the business model has changed decently in the past 2 years. Has it been fully 2 years? I'm talking Jetcon Corporation. They're now the exclusive Jamaican distributor for Beijing Automotive Group, BAIC. I don't know if you guys have seen those Chinese EVs or Chinese cars around. I don't think a lot of Chinese cars. They're just explosive on the market. You're looking at like Tire Warehouse coming out with Jetor and so on. ATL bringing different vehicles like BYD, etc. So Jetcon has some opportunity and they've jumped in. And I guess Preston is pulling up the different types of EVs that they have out now. I think there are like 4 of them. I think there are just 4 of them that they carry right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the different names. I think I could find the different names. Yeah.
Oh, BJ4.
Yeah, there's an X35 and an X55. There's the BJ30 and 40. Yeah, BJ30 and then there's a BJ40. And they're priced around like, between like the $4 million and $8 million region. And yeah, man, like hundreds of those vehicles have actually been sold. And the company actually expects to cross about over 1,000 units by like next year. So, and I know they had like a long wait list.
Hold on, they expect to sell 1,000 units next year, or by the end of 2020?
By the end of I think it's next year, they're saying 1,000 units.
So how much, did they tell you how much they're at now though? Like how do you put that into context, I guess?
Well, I know they said they've sold a bit. Yeah, there's an article. There's let me see if I can find it. It was a Observer article that was released last month in November. Sorry guys, we're recording this in December. But yeah, this is a BAIC sales rev up Jetcon's earnings. I found it. So they just talk about, just some of the sales and things like that and how they've been actually, there's like a lag. So there's a wait list for new cars because a lot of them were sold out. And they're sell out months in advance too. And so I think the issue they were having some of the time was there's like a lag in when they can actually get the car. Like it takes a while to actually import the vehicles. But once that's sorted out and, they have a proper pipeline, a proper funnel and so on, I think, and if they, add more models, because right now I think it's just 4 models, and I think the vehicles look clean. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen them on the road and they definitely do look clean. So I think that pivot has done them pretty well, because going from used cars to now, this changes a lot, because not only are you depending on selling vehicles to make revenue, you also have a warranty that allows you to service your vehicles, and they have an exclusive deal. It's an exclusive partnership with BAIC. So the people that buy these vehicles have to actually service their cars by Jetcon. And so that's recurring revenue now, because imagine every 6 months you have to come in and get your vehicle serviced or so on. So I think that that's a better play for them. And you can actually tell that they're investing more into that, because they're ramping up. They spent like I think 15 million Jamaican dollars fixing up the site, putting in another hydraulic. I think it's one of those machines. I'm not gonna pretend to know cars. I always tell people I don't know cars, right? I know human anatomy, not car anatomy. That's not one of them car man there at all. I do like looking at good cars though. But I think that's it's good because you can anticipate the number of cars coming in for like routine servicing, and they've invested in it. Hydraulic lifts, that's what it is. And they hired additional mechanics. So you can tell they're actually investing in this segment. And so I think the amount of service jobs, because I mean, if you've sold maybe 200 vehicles and you plan to sell 1,000 vehicles by the end of next year and so on, and exponentially in the coming years, as they say, that's good for recurring revenue. And so, I think with Jetcon, and you've seen, I don't know if you can pull up their numbers, but their numbers have been pretty good. Like they've actually been printing decent profits. Even a lot of this year, and the stock price has fallen. So I think the stock price went as high as $2, and now they're on $1. Has it reached $1.20s now? I need to look back. I don't know what's going on.
$1.28.
Yeah.
I think I'm reading here where you're saying like, yeah, the revenues were up. So for the 9 months, so this is this is comparing January to September 2025 to January September 2024. Revenues, this looks like over 50%. They went from selling 380 million worth of goods to 633 mil. And they made a loss for 2024. They lost 17 mil, but so far for 2025, they had made 67 mil in profit. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. I was looking at the article that you mentioned, and they were sharing. He actually I don't know if this is from maybe like a shareholder meeting or something, because he actually hints Jackson. I don't know which this is. I think this is Andrew Jackson. He hints that he said we have secured a pretty decent third quarter, and then this was November 19th, and he said the fourth quarter should be even better. And apparently they even sell.
No, I'm saying look at the fourth quarter of last year. They actually made a massive loss last year.
Oh, that's when they wrote off the cars?
Yeah, it's in the full year, so you can see it. It was a net loss of 74 mil, I believe, for the year, the entire year. But for that quarter, you'd have to calculate it. But yeah, like they've, so I think good profits on the background of that loss, that heavy loss, and so on. How much? That's the third quarter. Go back to that third quarter finance. We could kind of calculate it. So if you go down, the third quarter is what? That's how much loss for all 9 months. That was 17 million. And then they ended last year. So that's $17 million loss for the 9 months up to September of last year. And then if you look at the full year actually shows that their losses were
74 mil.
74 mil.
So
that
over
fourth quarter
mil.
was a massive loss. Yeah. Massive loss.
Oh, yeah. So you're saying
expected to do better. Yeah. I think it should be, it should look really nice on the books. That PE is supposed to tank. And I believe that even going forward, because they have some other things that they do, even they have some solar panels, I think, that they sell. They have a whole, there's a solar.
Yeah, apparently they were saying they bring in some panels, Gamco. And they're saying that apparently because of Beryl, they're seeing Melissa and Beryl, they're saying that their solar sales have actually been doing better, and they said they're prepared for it. So they said they've seen a sharp uptick in solar sales. Interesting. I didn't think about that in terms of other energy companies. Anyone for tropical? No takers.
This guy Preston, funny, we don't really speak about those things on the show. I'm joking. If there's an opportunity, I'll jump in, but
But isn't that what you're supposed to do? Look at the things that people aren't looking at?
I would rather invest in Kintail, for sure. For sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tropical.
Just for now. Until tropical, that's how stocks are. Because, there's some days they look really bad. And I guess that's when we do look at them. But we look at them with, the
from
premise of a potential. Yeah, and with the premise of a potential upside. It's hard for me to see that for tropical. I mean, their sales could have been better through, with Melissa and so on. But boy, I don't know, man. I'm afraid. You see how you're apprehensive in touching Kintail? I'm apprehensive in touching tropical, especially after that APO.
No, it wasn't an APO, it was a SPO.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
it was a secondary public offering.
Yeah. My bad. My apologies.
But yeah, I see. I do, because I remember with Jetcon, I think I had told you when I had started looking at it, and I think it was maybe $1 or something. I think it was the end of 2024, because they were talking about the whole switch up, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to look for a change. So they're a used car dealer. They're making a change. They're going to become a new car dealer. And I was doing research even into the whole. I'm not a car person, as you said, so I was trying to do research into how good are the Chinese cars? Because it was they were the only one bringing in this dealer or this car. So I was wondering, how is the car going to perform on Jamaican roads? And I remember even one of the things that made me say, oh wait, this actually might be a serious thing, is because it wasn't just them bringing it in the Chinese cars. There's a lot of other people bringing in the Chinese cars. And when I was doing research online, the cars are actually, it's not like, and I guess how the opportunity can arise, because I think, you know how a lot of people think, oh, it's Chinese, it's like they just make cheap stuff. It's like a Temu or a Shein or one of those stuff, and you just go buy it and you just go mash up. You know, imagine doing something like that for a car, which is like a really big purchase for people. It's maybe their second largest purchase they might make other than a house, you know?
Yeah.
So I think there's like, hey, I don't know. And then everyone would not really want to be that first person. But then if the first set of cars do well, everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh.
Have you been seeing a lot of these Chinese cars and Chinese EVs?
They're
GWM. Really good quality.
They're like, they're proper luxury cars. Like
proper you know, there's a vehicle. I don't know if you guys watch MKBHD, but he reviewed the Xiaomi car.
Oh yeah.
Xiaomi is the cell phone brand, and he reviewed a Xiaomi car. That car was what? I think it was 40,000 US or so on, and it was like the amount of specs, like, you know, the software inside the car, how modular the car is, and so it was just like, how are they coming up with such good quality vehicles for this price? You know, so I have to watch out. That's a huge market now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, more dealers were listed. You could have more choice, maybe.
Exactly, like Tire Warehouse. If a list. Funny enough, I know the family that actually owns Tire Warehouse. We used to go to church together. Actually, cool people. I want them list though. You're right. All of these car dealers come to the market, man. All the man never want them too. But yeah.
Not seen those ones.
Real. Yeah. But yeah, that was my pick.